Welcome back. We just heard from our first entrepreneur, Saskia Weingard, president of citychatter.ca. Now it's time for the competition. Our second entrepreneur is Catherine Carroll, chief operating officer of Sober Steering. 90 seconds, take it away.
Sober Steering is developing sensors that can detect biomarkers in the gases exuded from the skin to non-invasively diagnose the body's condition. Our long-term vision is to become a leader in biosensor development for medical diagnostics. But today, I'm going to talk about our first application, which is automotive, using our biosensors to prevent drunk driving. From sensors attached to the steering wheel, our system can detect if a driver has been drinking, and if they're over a legal limit, it immobilizes the vehicle. We've recently begun a school bus pilot program to test our first product. Let's look at the need for this product. In Ontario alone, every year, drunk driving kills over 200 people, costs taxpayers $575 million, and remains the #1 killer of people under 25. In the U.S., it causes 11,000 deaths. Not one of these deaths is an accident. They're caused by an impaired driver who does not have the legal right to be behind the wheel. So in automotive, our goal is to become a standard safety device in all vehicles, just like seatbelts and airbags. That represents a multi-billion-dollar market. But before we get to that end goal, there's $1 billion of opportunity in early, unregulated markets for fleets, starting with 600,000 North American school buses, young drivers, and convicted DUI offenders. Every year, $500 million of breathalyzers are sold to convicted DUI offenders. We can absorb that market. So first, we get the market's attention with school buses, we get their confidence through early markets, and then we work with automakers to make our biosensors standard feature in all vehicles. But most importantly...
We'll have to cut you off there. You went over, but thanks. Robert, would you get us going?
Well, sure, but I want to give her a lifeline here. And she just said the most important...
Oh, that's true.
And I want to hear it.
Okay, I want to hear it. Go for it.
Appreciated. Most importantly, this isn't about a multi-billion-dollar market opportunity. It's about saving lives. These are the lives of your friends, your children, or even your own. So consider that as well.
Well said. Obviously, a very serious topic.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's going to argue with what you're trying to solve, the problem you're trying to solve. When I did read your overview, it says here you've raised just about $6 million to date. I assume that's accurate. Can you walk me through who that's from and what you've done with that money so far?
Sure. So we've gotten about 3 million commitments from the federal and provincial governments, the IDF specifically, as well as over 2 million from notable, successful angel investors. As an example of the quality of investors we have in the program, one investor, Dennis Meal, recently sold his minority share in U.S. Corrugated for $330 million. We have more than one of our board of directors who has built billion-dollar businesses from scratch. So that's the caliber of investor we have in the group. In addition, we have about $550,000 worth of grants that have not gone to the company, but gone to the universities that we work with. So that is about what our investment looks like.
And what have you done with that money so far?
We have completed the development of our first generation product, which will be launched in the middle of next year. And that involves not only the research and development of a cutting-edge sensor system, but also the product itself, how it integrates into a vehicle.
Thank you.
So, Catherine, great pitch. I thought you got the message across well, and obviously you're dealing in an area that is of great concern to everybody. I guess the first question I'd have for you is, why wouldn't a car company, just like they needed to put in windshield wipers, to me this is a no-brainer. What holds back the car companies from saying, why didn't we think of this, let's just buy you?
Car companies do not want to add additional costs to a vehicle. They have to be pushed to add any new features to that vehicle. So we think that through consumer demand, insurance industry interest, and then government mandates, that will happen. It's already happening in Europe, as a matter of fact.
And how far away are you? I think you were telling Robert a little bit, but can you give us a little more color on detail on how far away you are from actually getting live and getting customers to the point where revenues are going to come in and you're going to get cash flow positive?
We already have the pilot program underway, so we're testing already. We have clients lining up, and we expect to be selling by middle of 2013. That's our first generation product. Our second generation product, the prototype product, will be completed within 18 months, and that's will be commercialized shortly thereafter.
Great.
Jeremy.
How much are you able to protect with patents, and what have you been able to patent so far?
Quite a bit. We have 2 patents established, and we have 9 additional in the pipeline in different areas of completion. We have been able to patent the system, the way that we operate inside the vehicle, and how our sensors interact with our proprietary algorithms.
And is it possible to fool this? So if this is an ethanol detector, would hand sanitizer, gas that's still on your hands, or if someone even spilt anything else on their hands, would that throw the sensor off?
The sensors that we're using have the ability to distinguish between ethanol and most other similar chemicals. The most difficult challenge we have is with hand sanitizer because it is ingestible alcohol.
I got that one.
Right, but it evaporates so quickly that 5-10 seconds after you put it on, you can properly test with our system. So the solution there is to say, if you want to drive your car, don't use hand sanitizer 5 seconds before you try to start the vehicle.
Is it more or less expensive than your competition, which I think is you blow into it?
Breathalyzer. Breathalyzers are between $1,200 and $1,500 per year to lease. Ours is significantly less expensive than that.
Before we go to break, we want to remind you that you can learn more about our distinguished panelists and their backgrounds by visiting us at bnn.ca. We have some new pages that'll give you a better idea of the experience and expertise of our rotating panelists. You can learn more about how they help startups get off the ground. This week we're featuring Jeremy Gucci, Chief Trend Hunter at trendhunter.com. Well, coming up, it's decision time. Both of our entrepreneurs will stand before the panel, ready to hear which business idea won the judges over or not. We'll be right back.